Some photographs are worth more than 1,000 words. But among those innocent images, a few hide something more. A presence. A face. A mystery. This is the story of a group photo, where a man who had died 2 days earlier appears. A ghost, maybe? A mistake? A trick? Or a sign that some spirits simply can't let go? If this gave you goosebumps, don't forget to like this video. Got your own theory? Leave a comment below, we read them all. And if you love stories where reality feels just a little haunted, subscribe and hit the bell, because more mysteries are waiting. It was 1919. World War I had just ended, leaving behind millions of deaths and deep wounds across Europe. Among the countless military units, one of the lesser-known but most active was the RAF Goddard Squadron, a division of the British Royal Air Force specializing in maintenance and technical support for combat aircraft. These men, mechanics, technicians, and engineers, spent the war in constant alert, repairing damaged aircraft and making sure every plane was ready for takeoff. They weren't frontline soldiers, but they were essential. Among them was Benny Harper, a young mechanic, always helpful, and highly respected by his fellow servicemen. Benny had served with honesty and dedication throughout the war. But ironically, his end did not come at the hands of the enemy. One day, while performing maintenance on a plane preparing for takeoff, Benny was struck by a spinning propeller. He died instantly in front of several of his colleagues. It was a terrible accident, but unfortunately not uncommon at the time. His body was removed, and a military funeral was held a few days later. His absence was painful, but accepted. In the mindset of soldiers, death was always just a step away. 2 days after Freddie's death, the RAF command decided to take an official photograph of the entire squadron. It was a symbolic gesture, to commemorate the end of the war, to honor the survivors, and implicitly, to remember those who didn't make it. The official photographer arranged everyone in 2 rows, some standing, others seated, all in perfect uniform, their expressions proud yet tired. No one noticed anything strange. No one saw an extra presence. The photo was taken and filed away. Only a few days later, when the developed photograph was shown to the command and the unit, something didn't add up. At the top, behind one of the men standing, a face was clearly visible. A face no one remembered seeing during the session. It wasn't a smudge. It wasn't a reflection. It was a face, pale, with a fixed gaze and well-defined features. The first to notice was the man standing directly in front of it. The face seemed to be peeking over his left shoulder. He looked at the photo, turned pale, and whispered just 2 words. "That's Benny." The others gathered around. No one wanted to believe it, but one by one they confirmed it. That was Benny Harper's face, the mechanic who had died 2 days before. There he was, among them, in the photo. How could it be? Benny was dead. His funeral had taken place just hours before the photo was taken. Yet his face was there, in a photo where no strangers could have slipped in. It was as if he had simply shown up, as if he didn't know he was dead. That's what some members of the squadron suggested. Benny, so used to the rigid routines of military life, might have simply reported for duty, even after death. The photo was stored in the archives, and for years circulated privately among members of the RAF, but the legend began to grow. In the following years, the case was nearly forgotten. But it was Sir Tommy Granger, a former high-ranking RAF officer, who brought it back to light in the 1950s. Granger was a man of science, but deeply fascinated by the paranormal. During a conference on ghosts, he publicly showed the squadron photo, pointing directly to the extra face. He told Benny Harper's story and explained that, in his opinion, this was one of the most credible pieces of evidence for the existence of spirits or residual energies. The press picked it up. The photo became famous. Some dismissed it as a photographic trick, but no one ever managed to prove how it could have been faked. Remember, this was 1919. long before the age of digital editing. Over the years, many theories have emerged. Here are the main ones. Photographic exposure error. Some believe it was an accidental double exposure. But no other part of the photo shows signs of overlapping, only Benny's face. A prank. The idea that someone wore a mask or snuck in doesn't hold up. The face appears between two soldiers standing shoulder to shoulder, making it physically impossible for anyone to squeeze in unnoticed. Self-suggestion. Some say the face just resembled Benny and the likeness was imagined. But those who knew him well said there was no doubt. That was his face. Paranormal manifestation. The most fascinating and unsettling theory is that Benny's spirit truly was there. A brief appearance, captured on film, perhaps just to say goodbye to his comrades one last time. Benny Harper's case isn't the only one of a ghost appearing in a photograph. From the famous Brown Lady of Raynham Hall to mysterious shadows in family pictures, the phenomenon has intrigued and divided people for decades. But what makes Benny's story different is the clear identification. This wasn't a blurry or anonymous figure. It was a face recognized by dozens of people who had known him personally. And the photograph, still preserved to this day, shows those features with chilling clarity. What makes this story so powerful? Maybe it's the fact that it happened at a real setting, among rational men, military personnel, accustomed to death but not to what may come after. Maybe it's the mystery of photography itself, a cold, technical medium that sometimes captures the invisible. Or maybe it's the comforting idea that, deep down, no one wants to leave without saying goodbye. Benny Harper, RAF mechanic, died in 1919. But in the squadron's official photo, he's there too, silent among the living, reminding us that death may only be a shift in dimension. Have you ever seen something you couldn't explain? Do you have a photo with an unexpected face in it? Tell us in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Mysteries never sleep.